Hello everyone and welcome to 360DigiTMG and welcome to Banking Analytics. The applications of banking analytics is what we need to understand, and moreover, we are here interested to learn how data science or AI are into banking. So to be very clear that digital transformation is something it has taken not only a single sector, almost all the sectors, all the financial institutions, they try to find many innovative solutions with many challenges also. So here they targeted, moreover, more customer-centric approach was the target to this banking. So even today, now, institutes are still trying to find new ways to leverage this banking analytics so that, they want to enhance more customer experience. They are to identify the opportunities for, we can say, revenue growth, right? And they want to remain competitive. That is the main agenda here. So why banking analytics and what is this banking? So if at all you take any data, earlier there were no digitalization, everything was like paperwork. Organizations, though they had something in their mind to do some kind of analysis with the data, it was not possible because everything was paperwork. So the data, when they started collecting, when they thought that the size, the compactness of the devices available to store the data, then they analyze that yes, if at all we plan and do some kind of analytics on the data, definitely they can utilize this analysis so that for better future and better forecast. So data analytics is definitely a science of analyzing raw data. So when we say raw data, data can be anything. All the data which is available is your data. But we need to make some conclusions out of it, and we need to extract the useful information out of it. It's all about getting some information, pulling out some information. Whatever you have, you cannot work with that. So what is required is the raw data. When we say it can be in a very, very proper format, like understandable format, or it can be any other format, like it can be unstructured format also. Because whatever you are collecting, the banks collect, it is from either internal sources, or we can also say it is from some other external sources. But what is important here is whatever you collect or whatever source of data is here, organizations can leverage this data analytics to do everything, right? So to improve something which is already existing, everything is running fine, let it go like that. We cannot say just like that, right? So they want to improve. I can say they can enhance the process so that they can build some models. They can build some predictive models. They can do some predictions. They can do, or they can forecast some growth opportunities. So data analytics is a very, very broad term actually. In that, whenever we talk about one particular sector, the analyzing of the data is anyway same. But pertaining to one particular domain, the analysis, the approaches might be same. But the which one is important, what is important, why we should do this is very, very important here. So banking analytics, it is nothing but it is one of the applications of your data analytics. Not only banking, any sector we take, it is an application of the analysis what we are performing on the data. So it has been, we can say, an integral way, right? So every financial institutions, they are doing some business. In fact, financial service industry as a whole, it is one of the very good adapter for this industry. So banks definitely need this leverage banking analytics to derive it some granular insights, from the data. I should not say from the data, from the massive quantities of the data, and which is known as big data. And whatever we are trying to approach, whatever the approaches we are doing across all the levels of the business, we need to do some kind of analysis. So that's where we need to use this data, apply our methodologies here, try to pull the information here from the clutter, whatever we have, and try to get some insights out of it, do some forecasting so that we can gain profits. At the end of the day, we all are working to gain profits to withstand any circumstances we have. The growth opportunities should be increased. But we cannot say that everything we are having, whatever implementation we do, we are not having any obstacles there. Any analytics we perform, any sector, any data, whatever we have, we need to perform analysis. Then only we can gain some information which will be utilized for us, which will be like a +1 for us for achieving our target. So first of all, we should know what is this banking analytics. So now, by now you should understand that it is an application related to data analytics. So this is, as any analytics domain, right? We do the same procedure. Like we have many tools, we have many technologies to collect, to process, to analyze raw data within banking industry. So suppose now, if at all I want to detect whether a transaction is a fraud transaction or not, whether I want to do segmentation of the customers, giving a certain condition, is nothing but segmentation of the customers. Nowadays, we are getting credit cards and the credit cards are not being used properly. The management process is not done properly. It is nothing but credit risk management. Why is this important now? Yes, applications are many, whether it is customer segmentation, whether it is fraud detection, whether it is credit risk management, anything can be there. But why is banking analytics important? Definitely it is important because it enables banks, your credit unions, right? You are trying to get some information out of it. It's a very powerful tool. So you are growing your revenue, you're optimizing the customer experiences, right? And the performance of the bank should be improved. It's a powerful tool now for improving the performance also. But do you think there is a connection between this banking analytics and can we not do customer analytics also in banking? That is another way around again. Customer analytics in banking, already we are saying that application of data analytics is your banking analytics. Now, what is this customer analytics in banking? So this is a subset. The entire story here is banking. In this, you have a subset, this one. Here I can say it is customer analytics, which is there in the subset of your banking. got stuck. Just hold on for 1 minute. I think. Just hold on. Exit this. Sorry, actually it got stuck. Yeah. So now when we're talking about this customer analytics, which is a subset of banking analytics, where banks can use to gain a 3-degree, or I can say totally 180, 180, 180, 360-degree view of their customers. So this is going to provide banks a better understanding. It's going to give a very, very good understanding. Actually, what their customers want, what is a need, right? They can offer a targeted product. And also, moreover, the recommendations with respect to service, right? Whatever the cross-selling efforts are there, it can be improved. So every customer's interaction can be personalized. So when you combine this with banking, the customer analytics with banking analytics, it is possible to build a stronger customer relationship and to improve the overall customer experiences. Now the question is, why you should do analytics here? What is this predictions? Why we need to forecast things? Right? Now, what is this predictive analytics in banking? So prediction, what is this prediction? Like if at all someone would like to know their future, right? Definitely they will be eager enough to know what is going to happen tomorrow. We definitely were very eager, right? So when we try to find out few things, even before they are going to happen, definitely we can take a call on to continue with the same or to do some changes. So where many organizations, they are using advanced technologies. What we are studying as of now, which is nothing but the AI, artificial intelligence, right? Data mining, machine learning. Cumulatively, all are same. They are on the same plate, right? But the names are different. It is a continuity one after the other. One is a subset of the other. So to develop models and you are trying to predict events and those events are likely to occur. So in banking, it is definitely important for us that predictive analytics, it is often used to help your customers manage their finance, manage the, or you can say prevent fraud, right? Any form of identifying theft, and you are trying to reduce the risk. So these are the major things what we would like to do. If at all you are trying to analyze the data and we are trying to predict something. Now the question is, how can banks benefit from using this banking analytics or the concept of data analytics? how we can say that, yes, this definitely going to help us. So that, and like as I told you, there are many ways where we are applying the concept of analytics, the concept of AI, the concept of data science and mining. So boosting customer retention, including, or whatever process is happening, existing processing is happening, you can optimize it, right? You can reduce the operational costs, right? You can even enhance some kind of productivity, so on and so forth. So, but banking means financial institutions, they're only limited by their imagination. So they are limited. Do you definitely think that this kind of analytics will improve customers' experience? Definitely, if someone is going and applying for loan, you upfront reject the loan. Definitely, you are able to lose one of the customers, right? Nowadays, getting a new customer is very, very difficult task. So your aim is to retain the older one. Whosoever are available with us, who are already the customers of our bank, you should keep hold of them. You should not, their transactions should be done properly. You should offer them credit cards. You should say that we are ready to give you loans. Definitely will get calls, right? If your history is good, they'll call you and they'll give you loans, your personal loan for this rate of interest. So what is that? Why it is all happening? People are not just giving, they are not giving you a call. There are n number of ways which will definitely people love to work with you. Like they don't want to churn. The customer churn ratio should be decreased. If they are not moving away to the other bank, that is the biggest thing here. Because nowadays every bank is targeting customers in such a way that though they have no amount in their accounts, they are given an account and they're given a credit card, right? Because they want to improve the business. Somehow they know the strategy is there. So there are n number of ways for the banks to leverage this analytics to enhance the customer experience by more targeted marketing campaigns here. So that they're not target. See, one thing is that they can target an individual customer. The second thing is that the personalized product or personalized service, what they are going to give. The other side, they'll not only do for single person, they do in bulk. They do segmentation of your people who have account in your banks. They perform some kind of segmentation. They divide people. They think of people and then they try to perform according to the individual segmentation and customer segmentation to groups. There's a main thing here. So from creating more targeted marketing campaigns and not only giving good services here, right? The purpose here is more specifically to attack or to gain customers here. Like you want more and more number of customers, more and more better services, right? To get insights of each and individual customer, and you want to give him a better banking experience to that particular person. Now the question is how this various platforms, whatever we are talking, like data science, or we are talking about artificial intelligence or any cloud technologies, how it is going to support this analytics in banking. That is another thing you should know. Yes, so we have to use some legacy systems here for banking analytics. So you want to run few things on cloud infra also. Why? Because if at all you are having so many number of customers and all the data have to be stored, after storing the data, what you have to do, you have to work on it. To work on it, you are analyzing it. That's where you are saying that analytics is performed. So it's not that how you are collecting the data. When it's a bank, definitely data is available to you. You may take any of the path to collect this data. It may take any way. No, first of all, it is that a superior customer experience is something which is very, very important here. So this is data analytics solutions can point to these processes, and are trying to optimize few things, and the relationships are becoming more and more stronger. But there are many number of ways that bank is using this data analytics to protect themselves from risk also. For example, if at all you are using, a customer, n number of people, and you have segmented them into different groups, maybe based on their credit worthiness, right? So not only does this enable you to narrow down your target audience, it also reduces the exposure of your default risk, because you can count on those customers who are consistently paying the amount, the payments are coming, right? So you can also perform predictions on that in the banking, so that by analyzing customers behavior patterns, right? So one of the customer is there, and he always does a transaction from that particular place, and he always done the transaction happens in and around a limited distance, I can say. Suddenly one day someone attempts to log into that same account from another mobile device with a different IP address in a different location. So what is happening now? This deviation is happening from the customer's established behavior pattern. Every time it is like only this particular area, this particular location, but suddenly you could see a different location here with a different IP address. So what is that is happening? Your predictive analytics solution flags this. There is something happening unusual activity, and immediately it is going to notify the customer that there should be some approach. It's like a fraud transaction. Some necessary action should be taken to protect their account. So you are using some kind of advanced analytics, because once the money is gone, even before the transaction happens, you have to stop. The transaction should be cancelled, or you have to intimate a respective customer regarding that. So using this advanced analytics for fraud detection, or I can say not only detection, you have to prevent it. So detection and prevention. It not only protects the interest of the customer. Customer feel really, the way you send him a message, an alert message, right? Is not only about this, but it saves the reputation, the damage, whatever it's going to happen if it is going to be a fraud. So this way, banking analytics is going to help not only the customer set, but also for the name and fame of the bank. So banks are definitely, we can say that they are under pressure only, because they even plan for reducing some operational costs, right? Because they want to improve the efficiency of the functionality, whatever efficiency or functionality of the bank to run. But what is the other way around? You have to decrease the operational costs. So whatever we are talking now, we can use this analytics to identify weak spots within our bank, shore them up accordingly. So this logics are same, friends, but sectors are different. The same logic will work for marketing, the same logic will work for healthcare, any domain you take. Logics are same, analytics is same, but the sector, the kind of data you are working is different. So a combination of prediction and a combination of you can say prediction and prescriptive analytics. we are trying to get some strategical recommendations here, right? So, like, earlier, if at all you people remember when I was like a school going kid, maybe when we are working early to 2007 and 8, we used to go for the transaction. We used to carry that passbook. Yes, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, I've just changed it. Okay. Yeah. I was just on the home page. Yeah. So now what is it we are going to study now? So to do this, to just automate few things, right? Whatever the existing processes are happening, let it happen. So when I was there, I used to carry one passbook. I used to stand in the line. I used to give my passbook. They used to take the printout and give it. Now what did that happen now? That came to a second stage now. It got automated. So automating all the routine tasks. But that automation should not be again costly thing. We'll enter into loss. If it is a costly thing, we'll enter into loss. So in order to drive some efficiency and we want to decrease the cost even further, that is a target here. So more changes, more automation, more things are, all the tasks are getting, or I can say routine tasks are getting automated, which is not a costly thing. It is okay enough. Everywhere you're not charging much. And if at all you have to take your passbook printout, you have to pay certain amount. Who is going to pay? They say no, we want it for free. So anytime we are trying to work, any solution we are trying to build, it should be solved within a limit. It should not go overhead, and it should not be, we should not enter into loss also. We should not enter into loss. But what is that which is very important? We have to start and we have to grow our strategy over time. You cannot start something, you cannot give a solution that is going to do wonders in a single day. Because data is different, customers are different, locations are different. So you have to start with small changes, then see the effect. Sometimes, friends, trial and error method also will work. You have to build a beautiful system where few things are going to work. Those things which worked out, you can take the list of all those things, you can apply those strategies. Because every month, same strategy, festival season, same strategy, will never work. So we have to understand the data and do for this. So I was talking about prediction, I'm talking about machine learning, I'm saying that automated things, routine tasks, how we are going to achieve all these things. So if we understand, right, the main point here is we have seen now the application part. So whether it is our customer churn analysis, nowadays we are seeing so many fraud cases, right? So what is that happening here? We want something which is very, very secure. Otherwise, who is going to take a credit card from our bank? Definitely no. So they're trying to use a process called as image processing, or you can say visual cryptography, where authentication should happen in a secure manner. Authentication should happen in a secure manner. That is the first thing. For that, to get a secure authentication, we should analyze the data. We have to give a strong code so that your process will not stop in between. And if it is a faulty thing, you should get an alert. Right? You should have fraudulent thing, because if at all nowadays you are for more security purpose only, you are getting OTPs. Right? Whenever a transaction with a 10 rupee transaction, also you have to give an OTP, one-time password. So even that is getting problem. People thought that no, it should be something with respect to image, something which is visual. So if you type a number, then only the processing should happen. The money should get deducted from your account. So that is one of the best applications here. Second thing, customer churn analysis. If at all you are not able to gain the trust of a customer, he is not going to stay with us. It is churn. This is churn analysis. Then you have to build some optimization models. Like it can be a product, you can say it's a product thing, or it can also talk about the portfolio optimization modeling. Product in the sense you are going to give a credit card, you're going to give a debit card, you're going to give a loan, you want to increase, you want to give some other leverage to the customers, you want to target them. Then definitely fraud prevention. Any fraud prevention and detection both should go hand in hand. Detection itself will not solve our work. No. You are telling it is a fraud, but how do you stop that? And you cannot say, this is fraud, please don't approve the transaction. But you have to even prevent it. Detection, any normal algorithm will do, but you have to prevent it. Any wrong things, anything, any mismatch is happening, you should be able to detect. Like if you remember, we used to do for on the checkbook, we will do signature, right? So that signature, whatever we do, it should happen properly. Whenever a single dot or a single tick mark will not happen. But that thing is something we are doing manually. What if you want to do such things to a computer? The laptop should do, a machine should do all these detections. It is a wrong signature. How will you know that? Even without a human, the person should not take any decision. Machine itself should analyze that this is not the signature, there is something missing, there's a mismatch happening between the signatures, so you should delete it. This is not, you should not process it. So now if a human can detect that there's an error, how can we train a machine to do that? Right? So all the detections should happen. Then in credit card scoring, right? So whatever document processing is happening, you're applying for loan and you get so many documents, all the documents should be processed well, and you have to enter the details properly. And then finally the conclusion is analyzed by a person. Whether you are a good customer or you are a risky customer, what is your payment history? What is your credit card history? How many times you did not pay? How many times you paid on time? All these things, as a human, you can process it. Now we want to make a machine learn all this. We are allowing a machine, we are training a machine to process all these things. This is nothing but document processing. And finally, as I told you, all the routine tasks should be processed automatically. Right now, we will see when long back when we have to draw cash, maybe not when we did not start working also, as per my knowledge, 15-20 years back. So what did we do? We used to take a checkbook, we have to fill in the form, we used to draw an amount for at least 500 rupees also, we used to take a long process. Now what happened? They have come up with something automated, ATM centers. But do you think they said that when ATM machines came into limelight and people full-fledged started using ATM cards, they thought that many of the people accountants jobs are on hold. There is people who are accountants, they lost their jobs. But do you think ATM cards definitely they made things go wrong? It was a plus point. Instead of that, they have chosen a different route now. Now no one is reaching out banks to draw an amount. Everything is happening on GPay, ePay, dispay, that way. So automation is happening. Automation cannot happen just like that. It is a process where we need to follow all this process in a step-by-step way. It's not a single go. It cannot happen on a single go. So what is that management? What is that we are going to do is, it's a crisp MLQ methodology. Right? It is called as a 6-stage process where we will start from analyzing for one problem, what is the solution? As I told you, how you are doing automation, how a process can be automated, how you can detect whether it is a fraud, how can you segment customers, How can you classify a person as a good customer or a risky customer? How will you do all these things? It's not just like that, right? If you just get the data, it does not work. So for any data you have, for any problem to the business in with respect to banking, it is not going to just like that, just by looking at the data, just by looking at things, we cannot analyze. We cannot do that. So for that, we are following a process. We are following a methodology, which is nothing but 6-stage process, CRISP MLQ. So what is this actually? CRISP MLQ is any problem you have, we will follow this 6-step process and we will solve our problem. We'll follow. This is a standard process, not only in banking, not only in customer, not only in marketing, not only in healthcare, any domain you go, we'll follow this 6-stage process. So analytics is helping the banking industry in a very, very smarter way. And we are facing many challenges. We are on the top. We are solving those challenges very easily. While basic reporting or basic analytics, what we are performing, it is continuing not only for the banks, in all the sectors. So that's why the name here, if you see CR, it stands for cross industry. Is nothing but cross industry standard process for machine learning. Then when you want to solve the business problem, when you want to solve this business problem, you have to do some kind of analysis on the data. You have to explore the data. Whatever data which is already collected from you people, the bank has given to you, you will analyze that. So you are working with past and present data. You are going to work with cross, past and this present data. That is nothing but historic data what bank has collected. Right? So definitely we are exploring this data only for what to resolve the problems, the challenges. You want to get some greater insights, right? So definitely I can say the economic crisis of 2008 definitely changed the phase of this banking industry. Right? Regulatory oversight, definitely it has expanded, but still the risk was more, and it is more, it will be more. So achieving profitable growth, and you're ensuring some any problems to be solved, right? It is more biggest thing here. So what we are doing here is, how do you analyze that data is what we are going to study. Then all the data what you have, it might have some clutter in it, and you are see, now I'm speaking so much, you are human, I am also human, we are able to talk in English, but how can a machine understand your language, whatever you are entering in your system? How can a machine understand that? So you have to do some kind of pre-processing. You should change your entire data, right? So that you can make the machine understand things easier. You can make your machine understand. That is nothing but pre-process. As is, if you have collected, bank has given me the data to analyze fraud detection. If you take the data, give it to a system, to the laptop, to the machine, it will say, what is that you have given? You will not understand. It will spill out errors. So what you should do? You should do some kind of pre-processing. First, you'll analyze the data, whatever you have collected. You will know what is your target. Then you start pre-processing the data. So you should understand now what pre-processing steps are important. Right? Not every time, like some data might be missing, some data might be in a different format, some data might be text. Anything can be there. All the data, some are images. Just now I told your signature should match. It's an image data. If you pass that image to your machine to learn, it will just take it as a KB file. That's it. Not more than that it can understand. It's a file for it. But what it should analyze, it has to match. It has to understand that it is a signature. It has to, you have to make it learn that it is a signature. Is it any flip side of that? Is it matching or it should analyze? So you're not only working with text data, numeric data, you're also working with image data. Images are also important for image processing, right? For authentication purpose, definitely you have to pass in image so that it should be processed and then you are trying to solve some kind of problem. So we'll do that. After that, after you pre-process, your data is ready. It became in a very, very pleasing format. Your data is ready. Once the data is ready, and remember, friends, most of the times, crisp ML cube methodology, it's a 6-stage process. EDA is going to eat away our time. Pre-processing and EDA is going to take 70 to 80% of our time. We'll be revolving around that bush only for 80% of the time out of 100%. Making the machine learn is one of the easiest tasks. Very, very easy. That's the one line, understanding. That's it. It's only one line understanding. But how do you pre-process? How do you analyze? How do you get, or from you, how do you pull out the useful information from all the clutter you have collected? That is time-taking process. So then what you should do? You have done pre-processing. Now you have to make your machine learn. You have to make your machine learn. So whether it is risk, whether it is fraud, or whether it is your KYC analytics, whatever it is, you have to allow this bank to analyze all kinds of portfolios, I can say, to forecast in a better way. So when I want to work with different kind of people, suppose I take a single factor, income. A single factor is income. And I have customers around 4,000 or 5,000 customers in my bank, and not all are of same income. All are of not same. So what shall I do now? Yeah. Can you put in the chat? Not all are of same income here. Who was that? Sorry. So what will you do? You have to deal with all the customers differently. One thing is that you want to target individual customers. Second is that you want to group them. So income means all the people are not of same income. People are of high income group, low income group, middle income group, right? So the way you look at them, the way you target them, right? It is called as segmentation, target, positioning. That should be done using a machine learning algorithm, which is K-means clustering. So you are clustering group of people individually, and you are individual targeting. At the same time, all the people who are thinking in a similar way, who are having same income group, you are giving them as one cluster. Cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3. Why you want to do that? Because not all, if at all you want to give some credit card offer, or you want to give some, you are increasing, you want to give home loan for less interest, or you want to give educational loan, some personal loan, whatever. Today morning also I got a call from Bank of Baroda. See, I would like to give you a home loan. Please, when can we connect? They threw a message. Why do you think I only got the call? Not all the people, right, will get such calls from the bank. They don't even call just like that, right? So that is, they have targeted me personally, but they might have given the same message to all the people who are having similar characteristics like me, who are similar to me. That is, they have targeted one particular group, one particular cluster, one particular income group or transaction history, whatever they have done. They have some criteria to do that. How we are going to do that, we'll study in K-means clustering. Then we will go with supervised learning model. So data mining is divided into two parts. One is unsupervised, second is supervised learning. So unsupervised learning means there is no question of prediction. Whatever algo, see, grouping means what prediction you are going to do. You will take the data, you group them. High income, low income, middle income. Good customers, risky customers, faulty customers. Just like that. There's no question of prediction happening there. But when it is supervised learning algorithms, we will predict the future. Beforehand, we can take some proactive action. For that, you have many types. There are something like classifiers, regression models. Eventually, we'll learn what is all that. I'm going to cover all this in depth. Today is the introductory session. We're just looking on the top layer of banking. So when you talk about KNN, it is K nearest neighbors classifier. When you want to classify whether a person is good or risky, is a defaulter or not defaulter. That you should approve a loan for him or you have to reject loan for him. You want to classify into one particular category. That is using a machine learning algorithm which is called as KNN. It's a KNN. You are just trying to classify it. So when you try to classify it, not only one classifier is there, like data mining, supervised learning. You need not target, you cannot stop with only one classifier. You can go with multiple classifier models, multiple regression models, etc. So what is that you get here when you classify? If KNN is not giving, it's not able to predict properly. It is only saying that 70% only accurately it is able to predict. You should not stop there. Next level, next classifier. So you will run bunch of models, bunch of classifier models, whichever is giving you the best, better accuracy, better performance. You will take that particular model. So you have n number of algorithms for classification. So like that, we'll see KNN, which is very, very easy algorithm. It's my favorite algorithm. If that is not working fine, if I run it and I feel that okay, it's only 70% accurate, it is saying that he's a good customer or a risky customer, I cannot, my client would not agree with that. Banker would not agree. He says that no, how can I trust your model? It's only 70% accurate. I cannot enter into loss or I cannot lose profits. So he will not actually, you cannot convince him for that. So what will you do? You have to go for another algorithm and try and check. Data is same, friends. Data is same. Pre-processing is same. But what we will do? We will go and do another classifier, which is a decision tree. It will give you rules, friends. You will have rules. The output of a decision tree is rule. If a person, if this is Deepti's age is 35, she has an income, she is a female, she has 4 dependents, she has how many own houses, she owns a phone or not, right? What is the other, how many loans she has taken earlier? All these details I'll pass to the algorithm. Finally, I'll get a tag whether you have to approve a loan for me. Third loan I'm applying, suppose. Can I approve a loan or reject a loan? So this data, if I pass, I will get rules. Rules means what? I'll get a number of questions should be asked to me, so that number of questions should be asked to me, so that I will get correct. You can pull maximum information from me. Right? When I have dropped papers to apply loan, right? They'll call me. So you will have set of questions so that you can pull less number of questions, more information you should grasp from me. Such a classifier model is called as a decision tree classifier. It's a greedy algorithm, friends. It wants more and more information from us to give us output. So less number of questions, more number of information, targeting the output. It is also a classifier. It is also classifying whether you have to give him a loan. Am I a good customer or am I a loan defaulter? Whether I have done a fraud transaction or not. Anything which is yes or no scenario. Any business problem is yes or no scenario. It is decision tree classifier. But we are saying yes, classify good. But what if at all you want to predict rate of interest? If my machine learning model, she will be able to say that if you give a rate of interest for this particular person, right? How you can will be what should be that value? What rate of interest I have to give? If at all you're able to predict that prediction which is happening in number format, right? That is happening in number format. It is called as linear regression model. Linear regression model. So fraud detection is a classifier. It's a fraud or not fraud. Very effective detection. You have to prevent this fraud transaction with the credit card. It happens in same insurance and accounting also. So proactive fraud detection banking, it's very, very essential for providing security to the customers, not only for the employees as well. So what you are doing, you will take the data, you explore the data, you pre-process it, and you will able to say that. So when you want to do personalized marketing, you go for K-means clustering. Suppose you want to give some customer lifetime value. Right? It is a prediction of all the value a business will derive from the entire relationship with a customer. Right? So whether it is numeric, whether it is a customer segmentation, or whether you are trying to recommend a one, like the Bank of Baroda has recommended me one offer, this rate of interest. How it has given that rate of interest? They said me some 2.3 or 4 point something. I could not, I don't remember that. Why did they give just that number only? They have done some prediction in the numeric format. If this is given to me, this rate of interest is given to me, I'll be interested. How do they came to know? They have explored my previous history, previous transaction history. That's where we do linear regression model building. And finally, exactly going. It's a categorical prediction and it is numeric prediction. When it is prediction, it is a supervised learning. And finally, the bombarded black box technique, which is deep learning algorithm, which you are going to study, MLP. I said few things are getting automated, few things are happening automatically. All the regular activities, now ATM cards are working, you are getting your passbooks verified easily, right? Your everything is getting automated one by one. How? Because of one powerful algorithm, which is deep learning algorithm. It is same like how we humans are processing. It will process. It is not an algorithm, I can say it's an architecture. They have taken a human brain, not human brain totally, a neuron in human brain. That neuron's architecture is implemented in form of model building here. That is your deep learning algorithm. It's a multi-layer perceptron. So data science makes all these processes better, automated, more accurate, more personal, more productive, but less costly. It is not. It is putting an eye on cost. It's a putting an eye on cost. So outstanding because relationship with the customers, right? Not only customer service, customer support is important in the banking industry. All banks are service-based business only, so that most of their activities involve the element of service. And also chatbots, right? You have to respond to the customer's questions. You have to respond to the customer complaints, and you have to interact with the customers. You have then and then the answer should come for the question posted there. Do you think everything can happen just like that? It is a process one after the other, which we are going to study in CRISP MLQ, which we are going to study the 6-stage process. By the time we complete all the stages, we can able to give one solution to your problem, right? So let us do a quick recap, and tomorrow we are going to start with crisp MLQ. It is YouTube live. It is available on YouTube, friends. So what is that? So what is that we have understood here? So the applications of banking analytics. Right. So now what are the use cases we can see in banking? First is very important, fraud detection. So obtain data samples for model estimation, and you have to estimate it and you have to check whether it is a fraud or not. Also, you have to manage customer data. So you are collecting, you have the data, you are analyzing, you are storing massive amounts of the data, but rather than viewing it, if at all you sitting and viewing it and analyzing it, we just pass it to the machine, right? And data science tools transform this into the possibility to learn more about the customers so that they can, they can do things easier. And nowadays everything is digital. Digital banking is becoming more and more popular and widely used. And now it is creating so much, like terabytes of data here. So first step of data scientist team is to isolate the relevant data. We don't want all the clutter. Data is so much. We want to pull that, but that only we have to do EDA on top of it. So customers' behavior, interactions, preferences, all this we are going to do. And then we want to manage risk. Risk modeling is something we need to do. And we are doing personalized marketing. We are doing personalized marketing here. Right? So it's nothing but we are also doing so many predictions. So I can write it as predictive analytics, real time. Right? You can also segment your customers. Segmentation. Okay. So it's not this. And finally, chatbots, we can say customer support. Nothing but chatbot, right? If you log into any of our website, if you log into our 360DigiTMG website, there's a chatbot which is available. It is going to answer most of the questions. This is also the customer, the clients pose their question. You should be able to, the chatbot should be able to answer it. So to gain this competitive advantage, banks must acknowledge a very, very crucial importance of data science here. It is very, very huge data. Now people say big data analytics. And using that analytics, we are going to build, moving forward, it is like predictions. And everything is happening in a day-to-day life because we all take loans, we all go to banks once in a while. Right? Everything is not happening so easily. It's all the masterminds behind the scenes who are working on it. So we have to develop different strategies, different decision-making processes should happen here. It's not like sometimes it is a cumulative decision, sometimes it is individual decision, sometimes it is a strategy only for one particular group. Right? So this is very, very important here for us. These are the use cases, right? N number are there. So tomorrow we are going to start with crisp MLQ methodology and what are the types we will work upon. So thank you all for joining in. Thank you so much.